His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is ringside for this massive event here tonight at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Todd, always a pleasure to work with you. Always a pleasure.
It's time for our tale of the tape. Roy Jones Jr., 80 kilos bang on, 180 centimeters tall with a reach of 188. Up against them, Jake Paul, 185 centimeters tall with a reach of 193 centimeters.
This is it. This is that fight. This is that argument. I don't know what to expect.
It's Roy Jones Jr. He won world titles at 4 different weight classes, including the heavyweight championship of the world. Jake Paul, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, currently residing in Dorado, Puerto Rico.
I'm so excited for this fight. There is no nonsense here.
And with that, let's go into the ring. And the Hall of Fame announcer himself, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Dorado, Puerto Rico, a social media superstar and rising contender known as El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul.
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
You can hear everything. Can you imagine being a fighter walking into this? We're going to see that any minute now.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. We waited a long time, and now we've got this fight. Unlucky to miss with that jab. Beautiful counter shot. They have no respect for each other's punching power. A perfect counter lands. So much hype surrounding this big matchup as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
Situations like this, Todd, will either make or break a fighter because the expectation from the thousands of people here, of the millions of people around the world, people like you and I sat here expecting everything and anything can break a man or make a man.
Back and forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Throws the jab but does not score. There's a counter shot. Nice counter shot. Good counter punching. And this with the jab. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Good counter punch. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
He's switched off completely and needs to go. Now, I don't want you to load up. Don't be looking there for one shot at a time. Set him up.
And there's the bell to start round 2. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. He threw a punch and just got counters. Beautiful counter punch. This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Do you believe what we're seeing? Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. We wanted action, and they are giving us action. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Let's go out there. Get your boxing. Good work. That's it. Now breathe. Breathe. Just get off. Win the round on your jab. And breathe while you're stepping around.
The bell rings and we start the third. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
This counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
Counterpuncher is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Just with that jab. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. They exchange punches. Straight right just misses. Got out of the way of that right hook. So much firepower here. Nice counter shot. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
The jab's working nice. There's 1-2. Oh, it's a tougher fight, and he's going to be confident. You've got to take that confidence.
There's the bell for round 4. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
shot lands. Punch, counter punch. And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. How about that time counter shot? Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Nice counter punch right up the middle. This has been a very competitive round between these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you go out thinking. You just have to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little faggot and pickpocket them.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Neither one of them want this to go to the judges' scorecards. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards, gonna need a knockout.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, pal, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
I'm going to go again. I need you to go back out.
Time for the 5th round. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
And he scores with the counter. The jab doesn't quite connect. No rest for the weary. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Some real good back and forth between these two fighters.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Incredible work rate. That counter punch got him clean. The jab not finding its target. Perfect counter shot. Just misses right uppercut. Nice counter. Those counter punches have to hurt. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. About Roy Jones in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the tables in this next round.
Wow, it was like 2 different leagues.
Slick. Stick on the jab and then start gathering your pace and win this middle. Can't miss it. Great work. Stay focused. Don't let him back into the fit mistakes and switch it off. I need you to switch back on. Get focused and get your mind back on the job. Get back out there and win.
There's the bell for round 6. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That jab misses. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Catch and shoot. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
All the way through camp. Just the same again. Don't check up there. Let's reset. Forget about that round.
Here we go. It's round 7. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Swinging big and missing big with that hook. His stamina is off the charts. Well done with that counter shot. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
His stamina is off the charts. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Oh, my word! Down goes RJJ! I don't care how good your chin is. A punch like that, and you're going down.
I've got to see that again.
Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. You've got to wonder how big of a factor that knockdown's going to be we just saw.
To make or break a fighter.
Round 8, and we're off again. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter. Nice
counter punch. Don't score with that right uppercut. That right hook catching air. Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? A straight right just misses. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
There's a lot on the line here.
You had everything in the bag. Now you've let him back into it. Yes, I like that round. Good round. You feel good? Good man. Mind, mate. Get the focus.
Let's see how much fatigue we see here in round 9. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through?
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skin them, go for speed.
Nope, that jab not going to score. Throw out a lazy jab in this fight, you'll get knocked out. Misses that uppercut. Nice counter shot. You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
This is when you talk about championship material.
Great work. Stay focused. Okay, now you're switching off. I need you to focus on what you're doing. Don't want you to load up. Don't load up.
And there's the bell to start round 10. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
And that hook misses. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in the fight. They've got to relax.
The stamina is off the charts. with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Good counter punching. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. As you know, in boxing, the judging can go all over the place, and that's kind of what we got here, a split decision victory.
These guys are doing their job right. I'd have called it exactly as that. You know, I might have been around that or two, but these guys have got it right. Well even fight, even match. I'd have noted that as well.